Hey everybody, it's your girl Planeta on deck. I hope you guys are having a great day, afternoon, and or evening whenever you guys are seeing this. So check it out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys already know I appreciate that. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to be sharing true crime short stories that either are funny or weird, and I would love to know what you guys think about these stories. You guys, when I was researching this stuff, I was looking going, really? Really? No, not really. You didn't really do that, did you? And then they did. If you guys want to hear the show that I got ready for you guys today, these story times. So our first story comes out of North Carolina. A 53-year-old man by the name of Michael Anthony Fuller goes into a local Walmart where he picks up a couple of items, right? So he goes and he buys a vacuum cleaner and he buys a microwave. Everything normal, going just fine, right? So he gets his microwave, he gets his vacuum cleaner, and then it's time to pay. So what do you do when it's time to pay? Well, you go up to the cashier with your money, right? Your money. So he did just that. He went up to the cashier with his money and he proceeds to pay. Now, the only problem is Michael decides that he's going to pay for his items with a Monopoly $1 million bill. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the game Monopoly, it is just that. It is a children's game anybody can play, but it's inspired to be like a children's game. It's like a children's game where you can, take all these steps on the board game and you can win money or you can lose money. You can open gift chest boxes or you could be sent to jail, just different little fun stuff like that. However, it is a game that involves giving out game money, prize money, right? So Michael takes a $1 million bill and he decides that he's going to pay for his items at the local Walmart using that $1 million bill. Now, the problem came in when it was time to check out, because when it was time to check out, the cashier said, "Oh, okay, one moment, please. Security." And so when your girl called security hurry up and called the police and was like, okay, something's obviously going on, but you're not paying for your items with the $1 million Monopoly bill. You guys light up the comments and let me know if you guys ever heard of this story. Now, Michael, he was arrested and he was charged with attempting to obtain property by false pretense. And he had a bond of $97,500. Y'all light up the comments and let me know what y'all think about this story time. All right, you guys, so on to case number 2. Okay, so in early 2016, there was a guy by the name of Donald Chip Pug who was suspected of vandalism and arson. So a warrant was issued out for his arrest, and the police of Lima, Ohio, they actually put a picture of this guy up on their Facebook page in hopes of trying to, to try to catch him. If anybody could figure out who he is, or if they knew him, maybe somebody would call the tip hotline and say, "Oh yeah, we know who Donald is," or something else like that. Ironically enough, I do say ironically enough, Donald himself saw the picture that was put up on Facebook, right? And he reached out to the Lima Police Department, the Lima, Ohio Police Department. It was like, and he texted a picture of himself, a current picture of himself, and said the picture that they had up of him looked horrible. He went on to say that the picture made him look like, he said something that the picture made him look like James Brown or a Thundercat. And so that's the reason why he texted the picture of himself to the Lima Police Department. Well, after he done that, he actually went so far to repair his good image and his good name that he called the local radio station thereafter. And he told the local radio station, "The Lima police did me wrong. How dare they put that unflattering picture of me? I had to set the record straight of what I really look like." Okay, well, a short while after that, in Florida, the police arrested him, and they were very happy for his services. You guys, light up the comments. Oh my God, social media is going to be the end of somebody, you guys. I promise you. It is going to be the end of somebody. Have you guys ever heard of this story? Gotta let your girl know. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. Let's move on to case number 3. So in 2015, Christopher Wallace, a 24-year-old out of Maine, he was on the run from police after allegedly stealing cookware, right? Like, okay, first of all, who steals cookware? Well, anybody who needs it, I guess, but he was on the run for allegedly stealing cookware. Now, keep in mind, this guy, he had been getting away. He had been successfully avoiding the police for weeks, right? And then he got a little cocky, okay? This guy allegedly took to Snapchat and started, doing little Snapchats or whatever else about how he'd been evading the police, how they can't find him, how they can't get to him, blah, blah, blah. Well, the people who were supposed to be his friends or followers on Snapchat, they were texting to the police, right? So at one time during this whole little cat and mouse runabout game he had going on with the police, he was actually in his own house, and the followers online, they saw where, he was posting, oh, the police, they came for me. I'm right here in my own house. They couldn't find me. Ha, 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 ha. So they went ahead and alerted the police department and said, well, you guys couldn't find him, but he's right there in his own house, right? The police went, they searched his house. They couldn't find him. He had a roommate there. And the roommate continued to say over and over to the police, oh, Christopher's not here. He's not here. He's not here. Well, with the roommate saying this and the fact that they were searching the house and they couldn't find him, they believed him. They said, he's not here. Okay, maybe somebody's pulling our chain. Let's get up out of here. Just as the police were leaving, you guys, I do not understand people. Just as the police were leaving, I guess it was time for justice to be served. So Christopher does one final tweet and says, haha, the police, they were here and then they left. And meanwhile, I'm sitting here in my cabinet in the kitchen or something. I'm in the cabinet, something of that nature. He was definitely in the cabinet. So, and he posted that, he Snapchatted that he's in the cabinet. And so one of the people who follow him on Snapchat, you know what they did? They went right back to the police department and said, oh, did you guys check the cabinet? He said he's in the cabinet. So the police, just as they were leaving, they go right back to that house and they said, oh yeah, okay, step aside, let us look in the cabinet. They see all the stuff you put in the cabinet. They see groceries, they see maybe cleaning supplies, whatever you got in your cabinet, going on, your rice, your beans, your bread, whatever you put in your cabinet. All that stuff. And at the end of that, they see a pair of feet. The feet, of course, belonged to Christopher. They politely escorted those feet right on out that cabinet and arrested Christopher. You guys, light up the comments. Have you guys heard of this buffoonery? I'm sorry, I'm saying buffoonery because, one, if you were blessed enough to get away, why would you keep calling the heat on yourself? I don't know why you would continue to post it, anyhow. Why would you tell somebody your location if you know you had did something illegal and that could cause you to go to jail in the very beginning? So, you guys let me know what you guys think of this one. Okay, you guys, let's jump into number 4. So in the year 2016, there was a bank employee by the name of Alberto Lopez. Now, this happened out of Arizona, right? So he was accused of, he was suspected of stealing $5,000 from the bank, right? And allegedly, this was over a 3-month period of time, taking some here, taking some there, until the amount wound up to $5,000. He was reported to authorities, and he promptly quit the job. So they found out he did it or whatever else. They reported him to law enforcement. He hurried up and quit and dipped. Okay, so after he did that, he moved. He moved away to Phoenix. Okay, and in 2018. He was still a fugitive. So this happened in 2016, but in 2018, he was a fugitive and he was out, but he hadn't been caught in 2 years. So he figured, it's nothing going on. Okay, well, I did what I did. That's behind me in the past. Let me go ahead and live my greatest life. Now, what would you do if you felt like you had the newfound freedom before that you didn't have? Well, you know what he did? Okay. So he decides to apply for another job, which seems normal to me because, hey, everybody got to make their money. Okay, but he applied for a job as a dispatcher for a police department. Yeah, so for a police department. Now, and I say this because I can only presume the background check has to be intense even to apply to be a police officer, right? Okay, there's definitely a background check. Yeah, so he applies to be a dispatcher. Now, when the dispatchers saw, his information go through their system, they couldn't believe it. They said, oh, you got to be kidding me. What kind of stroke of luck is this? This guy's been a fugitive for the past 2 years, and here he winds right up on our doorstep applying for a job. So the police figured the best way to catch him was to what? Offer him an interview. So you know what they tell him? Come on in, Mr. Lopez. Absolutely. We're happy to interview you for this dispatcher position, right? Crazy thing about it, you probably would have been good at the dispatcher. Who knows, So they call him on in to be a dispatcher, and he's suited and booted, dressed to the nines. He got his suit on. He's did his hair just right. He's smelling nice. He's presentable. He's ready to go, right? Just not to the place he thinks he's going, right? So he gets in there all ready for the interview, and you know what they do? They promptly arrest him. Oh, Mr. Lopez. Good tidings we bring to you and your friends. You know what, you guys? These crimes, okay? I don't know what's going through our lovely friends' minds. You know, guys, what are you guys thinking? You know, what's going through your minds? I don't know that you apply for a job as a police officer if you know that you were, you know, there was a warrant put out for your arrest after you stole from the bank you used to work at, remember? Like, how did that part fall on deaf ears? I don't know. You guys let up the comments and let me know. Have you guys ever heard of this story? And do you guys think you would ever be bold enough to apply for a job as a police dispatcher had you, been fired from your previous job for theft? I'd love to know your opinion. All right, guys. So for number 5, we're going to dance right back to Ohio. You know why? Because a guy by the name of Terry Trent, 44 years old, okay, he was high on designer drugs when he broke into a family's home, and he decides to, of all other things, he decides to put up Christmas decorations. You know what? He was in the season. He was feeling in the spirit, and he acted on it. So this guy, Terry Trent, okay, he decides that he's going to go into a house and, you know, he's going to get himself comfortable, run himself a bath water, light some candles, you know, turn on the TV really low or whatever, let the TV watch him, kick back, stretch out and relax. But before he's going to do that, he decides, you know what, let's go ahead and deck this place up. Let's freshen it up a bit. So he sees that the family has Christmas decorations, and he decides to put them up. Hey, what the hell? Why not, right? So that's what he does. So it says cops in Vandalia, north of Daytona, said that Terry Trent, 44, was high on designer drugs when he broke into a family home, put up some Christmas decorations, and then plopped down on a couch to watch television. An 11-year-old boy who lives in the house found the strung-out stranger and called his mother, a woman by the name of Tamara Henderson, who was at the neighbor's house. So now just imagine your kid comes to you, Mom, there's a man in our house, right? But you a whole single mama. Wait, what you mean? The only man in our house should better be Father God. Hello, okay? And it's like, there's a man in the house, right? And she's like, well, did the man have a gun? Did he have a knife? What are you talking about? There's a man in our house. Ma, he in there and he's like comfortable, like real comfortable, right? So she asked him, what do you mean there's a man in our house? You don't know if he has a gun. You don't know if he has a knife. And then she went ahead. She ain't playing no games, y'all. She called 911. I wouldn't even be playing. I'm 100% here with tomorrow because, yeah. Who's going to be playing games with a stranger stretched out in their house? She calls the police, okay? The cop said he was armed with a pocket knife, so he did have a weapon, but I don't think his intent was to harm anyone, to be honest with you. I think he just felt like he wanted to get festive in the spirit, and he did just that. Now, only problem, Trent, is, see, you can't just be breaking in people's house just because you're feeling festive, right? But they said Henderson suspects the decorating bandit was just looking for a festive spot to soak in the house. He did have the candles lit. He did have the television on, and it was playing low. But also, I should note that he told Tamara's son, the 11-year-old, he told him, I'm sorry, I'll leave. You know, so it's not like he was posing a threat to no one. It's not like he wanted to harm anyone. His biggest thing was, one, oh my God, get some help for your addiction because you're sniffing bath salts, because that's what the article suggests. And then 2, you can't just break in people's house and start getting comfortable. Y'all light up the comments and let me know what y'all think about this, okay? Yeah, he told the son he's so sorry. He didn't mean to scare him, but he was charged with burglary and he was held in a county lockup. Cop says that he had a history of drug abuse. Light and love to the Henderson family as well as the guy. Hopefully he gets the help that he needs. Y'all light up the comments and let me know if y'all heard of this one. All right, you guys, we're going to dance on over to number 6. Now for number 6, I'm going to take you guys to West Virginia. You know why? Because in West Virginia, a man's flatulence gets him charged with battery? Question mark. Let's get into this. So West Virginia man charged with battery for farting on a cop. This is what the article says. As if getting a DUI wasn't enough, a man was arrested for driving under the influence, got into a lot more trouble at the police station. So police stopped Jose Cruz on Route 60 in South Charleston on a Monday night for driving with his headlights off. So that's already scary enough. You're driving down, the highway or something. You don't have any headlights on. Oh my God, recipe for disaster. Okay, so he had to be pretty messed up. And then he failed a sobriety test after the police said, okay, you don't have your lights on. Standard procedure, I'm sure anyway, is to say, okay, let's test you and see if you are competent enough or sane enough or sober enough, a mixture of all of those, to safely get yourself home and not harm anyone else. So he failed the sobriety test, and then he was arrested, right? Okay. Well, when the police were trying to get his fingerprints from him, police say Cruz moved closer to the officer and passed gas on him intentionally. Okay. The investigating officer remarked in the criminal complaint that the odor was very, very strong. You guys. Okay, I know this is completely nuts. Okay, cornball stuff. I know. But here, what gas is not strong? Who's ever had somebody pass gas on me that wasn't a very strong, disgusting odor? Now, while that was a disgusting thing to do, did it warrant a charge of battery? You guys light up the comments and let me know. Okay, the battery charges, FYI, were later dropped. Okay, so let's go ahead and dance into number 7 and our final one on the list for today. Excuse me, and it is very, very sharp. So you guys imagine the mentality of the person who breaks in your house and does this. Okay, so an Oak Hill community couple discovered a thief in their home on a Saturday after the husband told a joke and he heard a laugh coming from upstairs. You guys, so now you and your husband, y'all just got home, right? You and your wife just got home. You and your kid, pet, whoever just got home, right? And you guys are saying, yeah, blah, 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 how your day was, how your night was. And then one of the two of you guys tell a joke. And then all of a sudden you guys hear, remember, you left your house empty. There was nobody there in your house the last time you checked besides Father God, okay? You left your house empty. And then all of a sudden your spouse tells a joke. And all of a sudden you hear, ha, 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 a laugh coming from upstairs. You know what? I want to know what that joke was. I do. I want to know what in the world could have been so funny that the burglar couldn't hold it. Okay, you guys light up the comments and let me know your thoughts. I am all done with this short story true crime for today. Let me know your thoughts. What you guys think about it? Y'all like it? Y'all rocking with your girl? Okay, so anyways, if you guys are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for being on deck with me. I appreciate that. It's love. If you are returning, you know I love you. You know I love you so much, and I thank you guys. Okay. If you guys would like to sponsor this true crime series, you guys can do so by dancing on over to Cash App, putting in $ your favorite besties. Like I always say, there is always another story to be told. But for now, bye.